Good afternoon, everyone. Um, I would like to begin by congratulating and appreciating GVAC for putting together this fantastic report, designing it with meticulous detail, uh, the global report for wind energy. It sets out a very constructive role for wind energy that it's expected to play in navigating the wind, the energy transition for the world. I believe that I speak for the entire industry when I say that the extensive intelligence in this report offers truly brings together the sector and empowers the knowledge required for achieving the common goal. With the total global wind installation reaching 117 gigawatts, 2003 has been a historic year for all of us, almost 50% in excess of what we have done in the previous years. We continue to see strong recovery on the price volatility as well as supply chain disruptions post the pandemic and the Ukraine war. Likewise, there is more alignment amongst nations and the need to step up for the 3x renewable energy growth to combat climate change risk. But with the current rate of capacity addition, as indicated by Ben, ARENA's own projections state that 3.5 terawatt of wind installation is required by 2030. GVAC's own forecast also states that, with the current pace of the activities that we are doing, if everything remains the same, we will not hit more than 2 terawatts by 2030. So reaching the 3x goal for us means an annual step up of almost 320 gigawatts in the year. To stay course on this 3x renewable energy journey, I think there needs to be a very strong collaboration between industries, policymakers, investors, and communities at large. I would like to make two important points in this regards. I think the first it's very important that we move from goals and target setting, which we have done fantastically well until now, to come with robust implementation plan from here on. Countries now need to develop very strong annual implementation plan in a focused manner, working with the various stakeholders to work out an annual growth up to 2030 to hit the targets. Problems related to project permits, technology adoption, manufacturing preparedness, supply chain development, grid and other infrastructure bottlenecks, all of these needs to be settled to accelerate the pace of meeting the ambitious target. And I believe that one of the most significant issues that the sector right now faces is a synchronize and alignment between multiple stakeholders to work on this common plan of execution. I think we must all work together to uphold the resilience in the flow, stock, and the value chain, which is in detail prescribed in the report also. This brings me to the second. This brings me to the second point for supporting the localized supply chain while meeting the global goals, and this requires some serious efforts. I have always been of the opinion that every country has its own challenges which cannot be resolved by external interventions and policy support. Country-specific blockages, especially those related to manufacturing ecosystems, economic environment, need to be resolved internally by those countries. The constantly changing business environment in many of the countries continues to disrupt the planning and investments in the local markets. Local financing, local policy support, alignment with the global vision, and the local business environment are crucial for development of sustainable local supply chain. However, localization always requires a balance. It must be clear that strengthening the local supply chain is a piece of a puzzle to meet the global goals to contributing the overall growth of the global supply chain. Countries required to make several tough choices. For example, what must be the share of local supply chain versus their global supply chain? These are all tough calls. Impact of pace with which we want to grow renewable energy in a specific country versus build up of your local supply chain. And thirdly, at what cost you want to build up your renewable energy in your country versus building a resilient local supply chain. So it's a combination of various tough calls that countries have to make. I think Arena has projected that the transition opportunity that the world has would throw up almost 40 million jobs across the world, and 18 million of them are expected to come from renewable energy itself. Capitalizing on these opportunities would require a strong collaboration of innovation, technology, manufacturing capabilities, and people skill collaboration between North and South. Once again, I would like to remind my esteemed audience here today that we at Suzlon believe very strongly that renewables help equalize the world with innovation and equal growth and opportunities of economic opportunities to build a resilient supply chain while catering the interest of all lives. So let's make wise decisions and encourage others to make the same. Thank you all.